Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we are going to discuss about audience research. Like the video if you like the content and subscribe, more videos are coming every week. So the other day I was watching my videos and I was thinking of new topics and I realized that I haven't showed you how to do an audience research. Oops. For me, audience research is very important. This is why also in my book I have it as one of my starting chapters, even before discussing about doing ads and stuff, because I think that you might have the best idea in the world about a thing or something that you want to create as a store and you have a niche in your mind, but maybe you're not going to be able to target it, okay? And I have a new video which just came out, and we know that more and more interests are going to be removed for religious purposes, sexual orientation and stuff. But other than that, we know that targeting is becoming more and more difficult as the time passes by, and Facebook wants very big audiences. So what's the point of actually having a good audience research? The point is this: first of all, you need to understand if you are able to target efficiently your potential customers within Facebook. And this is very important because it's going to define whether if you will start with Facebook or with another platform and then come to Facebook for scaling, okay, and use it as a scaling platform instead of using it as an initiation platform. Of course, a lot of times Facebook can be expensive for some of you in order to initiate, and I'm always saying to go and find a solution to another platform maybe, so that you can gather data and come later to scale. But sometimes it's working immediately, okay? And I have seen accounts that you're just doing your first ad, is working, and you're starting expanding from there. But there is not a single case that I have seen with an account being able to kickstart on Facebook without having some interests that we can use and we can target efficiently the people. For example, a very stupid example, just so that you can understand, if you want to target people who like fishing, it's very easy. You can find a lot of keywords, and we're going to analyze how to do a proper audience research. But let's say that you have a very good unicorn, which apparently there are a lot of people that they like unicorns, okay, I'm not against that, but let's say that you have a hoodie with a unicorn and you want to target people. There is only one keyword, the word the word unicorn, okay? And that makes it very difficult for you to kickstart. Of course, we have the crazy method, but I wouldn't suggest you to do the crazy method with a starting pixel. So when you have a new pixel or a new idea or whatever, you need to know how to do audience research even before knowing how to do Facebook ads. This is why I'm going to ask sorry from some people that they follow me since day one and I haven't showed audience research so far because I think that it's a crucial step for your success. Now, back in the day, we used to do audience researches because it was super crucial for new pixels to have smaller audiences and then move to the bigger audiences. But now, we know that there are some accounts that they can actually kickstart with bigger audiences. It's not an issue. But other than that, I think that doing an audience research is not only a way for you to kickstart, but it's also a way for you to scale. If you're using broad audiences and you don't have any interest, you need to start using also interests, because it's going to be another campaign, which maybe it's going to help you find a possible ad set for my crazy method, which I'm going to put a link in the description on how it is working. So now it's the time to show you how to conduct a proper audience research. First of all, when you're creating one campaign, the audience research and whatever we're going to show in a conversion campaign, let's press continue. No, we want to do it manually. We are going to go here in the ad set level and it's going to appear over here. This is the detailed targeting, okay? Here you can put some audiences like fishing, for example. I like to use this example. And you can see that the size of this one, it's 278 million up to 327 million. Now, you need to understand that this potential reach is worldwide, okay? So whatever you're going to do, you need to test how much is going to be for your region. So we know that it's a little bit less because the other one is worldwide. First of all, let me show you how you're going to conduct an audience research. Let's say that our topic here is phishing, okay? There are several, the process that I use is this. You can use any other process that you want, but this is how I like to do it. I'm opening a new Word file and I'm starting thinking, okay? So my topic is phishing and I'm starting thinking of how am I going to circle this niche? How am I going to target it efficiently? First of all, we have equipment, okay? Then we have magazines. Then we have, I guess, clothing brands. Then we have, I guess, famous people that are within the niche or influencers. Then we have, I'm guessing, let's say that we can put something like license. Maybe you need a license. Maybe we can put boats, maybe baits that you can use, different fishes, different fish, you know, all of that. Okay, so first you're going to find and you're going to locate your main categories, the ones that you're going to target, and then you need to start searching. You need to understand that whatever you're doing is going to define your success or not in terms of targeting. Why? What is every lazy people in the world is going to do for this specific audience? They're going to target phishing, okay? Because this is the easy solution. Your job is to find the interests that they are deep inside the niche that the lazy people are not going to target. Because guess what? You are also competing with all the lazy people in the world that they don't want to put any effort to do a proper audience research. So first thing that we can do, for example, here is that we can go and we can put phishing magazines, okay? Let's go to this one and let's see what we have here. We have different ones, okay? In fisherman, flying fisherman, bassmaster. Most of these keywords are going to appear if you do this. For example, if you do, first of all, I want to clarify that whatever you see here, it doesn't mean that it's going to be an active interest that you can actually use. So if we go to in fisherman, let's see if we can find the there it is, okay? So it's very small though, it's nothing big. But after that, when you have one, you can put the suggestions and it's going to give you several suggestions of things that you can target, okay? Like American Angler, for I know that it's also another thing, and so on. Bassmaster Classic, which also appears here. So for me, the most important thing is this. You need to find some keywords that are going to help you here with the suggestions to find more and more and more. And whatever you're getting here, you need to come and you need to add it in your folder here by just typing, then you put comma, then you type your other interest, comma, other interest, comma. And I'm going to explain in a little bit why you can use it. You should use it with a comma. But this is how you're going to locate. First of all, you're going to do your research here. You're going to get a list of items that you find on the internet. Then you're going to come and you're going to see how many of those you can actually use. And each one that you are adding inside, you're going to click the suggestions in order to find similar to that. Back in the days, we used to have also the audience insights, as it's used to be called. But now Facebook removed it, so we cannot use it anymore. Another thing that I want to point out here is that you should try to do all of this research step by step, and whenever you find something, you should add it in the category here. As you can understand, this can take you hours, okay, to conduct a very good audience research. But guess what? You have to do it only once, okay? So doing a proper audience research and actually going deeper inside the niche by the way that I showed you with suggestions and with circling something with different categories, it's always very important. For example, when you are doing phishing, some people think that they should target only the phishing keyword because this is more relevant. No, the people who are phishing, they actually want baits, they actually want equipment and stuff. You need to be able to actually brainstorm. Sometimes I even brainstorm with my friends in order to locate different interests that I should use. And guess what? When you're doing advertisement, if you're not within the niche, maybe you're not going to be able to know very well the niche in order to locate all of these keywords. Another thing that I like to do when it comes to audience research is Wikipedia, of course. And when you go to Wikipedia, I'm putting the keyword for the niche. Let's put here fishing. And here I like to read everything, okay? It's going to take you some time to read everything and stuff. One thing that I would like to point here is the techniques, for example, okay? There are some different techniques in fishing. You get some sinkers, for example. You get ideas, you get ideas. Sinkers, rods, reels, baits, lures, spears, nets, okay? And you can get even different keywords over here, so that you can start searching even more, and then you put these keywords over here and you're searching with suggestions, and so on and so on and so on. Now, before we close, I would like to show you one audience research, just a small thing. So this is some very general things, but I would like to show you why it's important for me to separate everything with a comma. The way that I structure my audience research is that I start from the biggest one to the smallest one. So I know that the first ones in my list over here, in each one of the niches, they are big interests that I can use them alone. And going down, I have the smaller ones that I should group them together in order to have a good potential reach. Okay, so the reason that I like to separate with a comma is this, that if you group them all together and you want to work faster, instead of adding one by one the interests, you can put it like this and it's going to take them all together. But you need to have something like this, okay? You need to have the interest, comma, next interest, comma, next interest, comma. And your spelling has to be correct, okay? If you have any mistake, Facebook is not going to recognize it. This is working only for interests, okay? It's not working for demographics or whatever else you can target. But at the end of the day, it's an easy way for you to work super fast. Now that you have your audience research and it's ready and you have spent hours and hours finding the good keywords, if you haven't and you want to just use normals, feel free to do it. But just so you know, you will have more competition with other lazy people like you. Now, you have your audience research. The way that I like to set it up, as I said, is that I like to put the big ones on the top and the smaller ones on the bottom. That way I'm able to group small ones in order to have a good potential reach, and I can use the small ones together. I want to clarify something which is all about how to group them, okay? When you're having a very big interest, like let's say 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, and you group it with a small interest or a group of small interests of 50k potential reach, Facebook is going to spend all the money on the big one, okay? So you need to group the small ones with the small ones and the big ones with the big ones. Let me give you some numbers. For audiences that they are below 200k or maybe 300k, 400k, you should group them together, okay? And Facebook is going to find which one is working or not. Don't just exclude them because they are small, just group them with other small interests. For other audiences that they are from 500k to 1, 2 million, group them together. 2 million plus up to 5, group them together. In that case, I wouldn't group more than 3. For example, if you have audiences from 2 to 5 million, I wouldn't group more than 3 on that case. And then if we go to audiences that they are above 5 million, I will put them alone. Okay, just one interest because these are bigger interests. Okay, the bigger the better because of the iOS changes. Now that we know how to group them, let's discuss a little bit about how these interests are actually working. Facebook, when you're grouping them, is going to actually find which one of those is going to work better and is going to spend more money towards it. Sadly, we cannot know which one of these interests is going to work, but we know that a specific combination is working. And in my opinion, you shouldn't care and you shouldn't try to look which one of those is working because it doesn't matter. It's producing results at the end of the day. And one last thing that I would like to point out about that is that when you have your audience research and you have done it, you just need it once, so spend the time to do it. And if you don't want to go through this full struggle of finding the interests one by one, I would strongly suggest you to use external programs like Audience Analyzer. It's called audienceanalyzer.net. Or Intelligence IO. I think it's one other. Let me just remember. Yeah, it's called adintelligence.io, which is another one. There are several programs that they are going to help you, and they're working kinda with a similar way. You are finding one interest and then you are getting suggestions out of it, and it's throwing you suggestions. For me, the most important thing is to do this. Go through the process of finding interests that other people are not going to find. This is going to help you a lot of times getting some extra sales, and don't spare the time. Okay, just spend enough time for this, and at the end of the day, group them together, because if you group them with big ones, Facebook is going to spend money only on the big ones, and this is not going to save you. When we're talking about new accounts, keep in your mind that you need to have audiences that they are above 200k potential reach. Don't go lower than that when we're talking about conversion ads in a whole country. Of course, there are some countries that they have limitations and you can go even lower than that. But other than that, keep in mind that now, after the iOS changes, having smaller audiences is not always good, and you should always try to go for bigger audiences. If your pixel is new, start with smaller audiences, then keep expanding. By smaller, I mean 200k and more, up to 2-3 million. It's considered a small audience. Okay, so start with those audiences and then try to expand to very big ones like 50 million, 100 million, and I think that you are going to be fine. I guess that's all I wanted to say about the audience research and how to conduct it, and I'm going to see you for the closure of this video. In any case, that's all I had for you about the audience research, how to conduct it, how to put the interests, how to group them together, how to save your hard work and save all the interests and the keywords that you have found. Don't forget that you can follow me on the social media. I will put a link on the description for my course, which is live. And also, don't forget that you can buy my book if you want to learn more about Facebook ads and go deeper. So don't forget that until we meet again, you have to be creative and you have to be consistent in the universe and in the metaverse.